Just because God wrote it doesn't mean it was always pretty.
That started many seasons of dating and then breaking up.
I thought it was God playing games with me. Like, finally did start dating officially. That lasted 3 days.
It was spiritual abuse in a sense, but I didn't know what I was doing.
We were both worshiping this idol of the person that we thought I had to be, and it was this train wreck of a love story, but God makes all things beautiful
In its time.
in its time. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to tell our entire love story that God wrote. Isn't that so cute? Aw, yes, but just because God wrote it doesn't mean it was always pretty. So we're just gonna get straight into it. What was your first impression of me?
Oh my goodness. Okay. First impression,
Leading.
I met Daniel at day camp, and I just saw this young, you're probably in high school, like
I'm
high
a year
school.
younger than her. Yeah.
Yes, young,
Say it. Say
immature, fellow from high school. He's just there to have fun with his friends at day camp, and I was
True.
annoyed by him.
My first impression of Cynthia was, I remember I was preparing to lead. It's like before leader in training, and I was organizing a game with the kids, and then she came over to try and like help me, and then I was very offended because I'm like, I have this handled, you know, like why is she coming in? But yeah, I was basically like, she is very uptight, and I think we were both right about each other, but it all changed when we became youth leaders together. So basically, the reason why I decided to start being nice to her was it was a youth leaders training before the beginning of the school year, and then she just came and sat beside me, probably not by choice. It was probably like one of the only open seats, but she just sat down beside me, and you know, I wish it was more spiritual and lovely than this, but it was just the way she sat down, and then like her legs in jeans when she was sitting down, I was like, oh my. And like, I was like, you know what, maybe I should try to be nice to her, even though I hate her stupid guts. I think she's stupid and annoying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel.
Stupid and annoying, it's how I felt. Past tense, because I like her now.
So now we're youth leaders at the same church, and you seem like some mysterious, like bad boy vibe.
Very
and
nonchalant.
Very
yeah.
nonchalant. And I was addicted to the chase. And it was something that I felt I had to conquer. Now, subconsciously, I didn't know that this was what I was doing. But anyways, he was cute. I thought he was pretty hot also. And he seemed like really fun-loving. You're always like laughing with your friends and stuff.
Yeah, see, that's the other side of immaturity. You have a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah. And so like we started talking. At that point, like I was pretty open. Like I wanted to date, but like I wasn't like serious about anyone. So I was keeping my options open. But then we started talking, and then he asked for my Snapchat at like Christmas time, around that time. And then I did hey, why don't you text me instead? And then I gave him my number.
I think I still have that screenshot somewhere. Honestly, it might be on an old phone.
It's so funny. Why, like you took a screenshot because you were happy?
Well, I also took a screenshot because I had to write down your phone number because you Snapchatted me.
Wow.
And so, yeah, from there, we actually went to the same university. So then we were like, hey, why don't we like meet up in between class and we'll chat or whatever. And then we met up, and then I'm not actually a great yapper. Like, unless you're a great conversationalist, we're not gonna talk that much. Because I'm not that good. Maybe it's the ADD. Maybe I don't know. I'm just too darn mysterious and nonchalant. But like, I'm just not that good. But we were able to talk for 3 hours straight, and we had only planned for like an hour, half an hour. But yeah, we talked for a long time. And you know, I think at first for me, it's like I thought she was attractive, but like I was also at like another church ministry on campus, where I was a worship leader, and if you know, you know. You just get all the options in the world. Not proud of that at all, of course. But I just knew that, okay, I really like talking to her, and if she likes me, awesome. You know, it's another thing to pat myself on the back about. But I realized that she actually liked me. It was like the day after I had told her about this girl that I was like talking to at this campus ministry. She didn't give a reaction in person, but then I remember it was like my birthday the next day, and then she texted me like, hey bud, happy birthday or whatever, and then like she also ended our snap streak. So I'm like, oh, she liked me.
Yeah. You know what's bad though? Also, like at this time too, is like I was like kind of seeing someone, but like I wasn't sure about that person. But like that was slowly ending, and yeah, I was bummed that we did. And I'm very good at shutting down. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. They'll do it.
I don't care, it's fine. So then, fast forward, I was leading a worship night at our church, and you know, I had actually been like kind of going out with this one girl, and I had invited her to the worship night, but then she left like right afterwards, and then we, like me, Cynthia, then like a bunch of the friends that were there, we all went to Dairy Queen, and we were standing in the parking lot. And then, guys, Cynthia's really bad at flirting. This was her move. Literally, we were just standing next to each other, and she just slowly, wait, it has to be like accurate to like height. She's slowly moving towards me, and then just like doing this. And then I was like, first thought in my mind, I'm like, am I cheating on that other girl? Like, I didn't do it, but like, I kind of like it. So I'm like, okay, she definitely really likes me.
So much for hiding it.
Yeah.
And shutting it down.
Yeah. See. Nonchalant, super chalant. That's your problem, you know? But yeah, after that, obviously, I ended it with that other girl. God bless you if you're watching this. But eventually, I asked her to come to Elevation with me. Elevation Church on Mondays. They used to have a service downtown on Mondays. And so it was our first date. Yeah. You know, ish. And so we went, the sermon was wonderful and everything. But when we got back, she finally asked me, okay,
so you know, DTR, gotta define the relationship. Yeah, I think I asked you, like, where's your head at? Or, like, I forgot what I asked you. So I think he said that he wasn't, like, ready to date at the time, but he did find me beautiful. And then I was just like, I didn't know what to say, because nobody had ever called me beautiful up until that point. And I have an extensive dating history, unfortunately.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's so full of beauty. Beautiful. It's like the easiest thing to say she's beautiful. I don't know. What's wrong with people, man?
Yeah, like it was just so nice to hear, and it made me fall for him even more.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, I must make him ready to date.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
We were talking on and off, and like
Wait, one second. Okay, the reason why I said I was not ready to date wasn't because of my commitment issues at that point. It was because I was like, you know what? I don't really have a job right now. I'm not as ready as I would want to be before, like having a girlfriend or whatever, you know, because like I had never dated anyone, at least like not like officially, and like I wanted to do it right. You know, I wanted to do what everyone says that I have to do, you know, like pay for every day, at least like in Christian circles, it's like you have to provide, protect, and you know, there's good in that, but I had a lot of expectations and religion over who I had to be in relationship. And so I wanted to kind of get my stuff together in that sense. I just wanted to win the boyfriend Olympics. I just wanted to do everything right. Obviously, like I had to learn a lot about God and grace and compassion in the process. But why don't you talk about how things went as soon as I actually did want to date?
So once he was ready to date, I'm like, whoa, somebody actually likes me, and I don't have to fight for
their
him.
attention.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, gotta go, bye. Yeah, that I think was super triggering for me, in the sense that like I wasn't used to someone just pursuing me that felt genuine. Like I think I was used to men who pursued me, and
just because they liked how you looked.
Because they liked how I looked, and they're also kept their options open, you know, or was like had an eye for like other women. So there was that, and then the part where I was just like nervous about like what things were gonna look like, you know. I thought the relationship anxiety was telling me that he was not the right person for me, because in my mind I'm like, if this is the right person for me, I'm gonna feel complete peace.
Yeah.
And so that's
big lie, by the way. Big lie.
Yeah. And so that started a whole series with many seasons of dating and then breaking up and then dating and then breaking up. I'm sure if you've seen
our proposal video, I went over all the different locations of our breakups. It's quite funny. You should go watch that after this.
I mean, like, I also, like, it wasn't just relationship anxiety. Like, there was things that I was, like, worried about because I'm, like, in my mind, I was searching for a perfect person who didn't struggle with anything, who had all of their ducks in a row, who was going to take care of me, and I didn't have to use my brain.
Yeah. Well, see, that worked great because the person she was expecting was the person I was expecting I had to be. So it was like we were both worshiping this idol of the person that like we thought like either I had to be or that she needed in order to feel good about dating in general. And so, you know, that's how that worked. Oh gosh. Yeah, see, because I fooled her because I did have my options open at one point when she started to like me. You know, she thought I was like a player.
I did.
Yeah, well, you know, it's because like how could someone look like me and just be such a sweetheart, good boy, never kissed a girl before.
No one who has dangly earrings.
Yeah, look at
the
dangly earrings with a cross on it, like Christian F-boy, like for real. That's how I looked, and on a level I understand that, but you know, that wasn't me.
He's a sweetie pie.
I am a sweetie pie. But then, yeah, when I actually did start to like her, it definitely short-circuited her, because she was like, I did not sign up to actually be loved. What's going on here? That's not what this is about, Dan. You don't get it, all right? You're doing it all wrong. Like she said, it started a lot of like, well, we'll talk for a while, but then she'll ask to meet up at Starbucks, and then she'll be like, you know, I don't feel right about this. And and then I remember the first time it happened. It's like she told me that, and then like, this is how much of a good Christian I was trying to be. I was like, you know what? I totally understand. Like, whoever the Lord has for you, it'll be great. And like, I just want you to do what you feel God is telling you to do.
That made me love him so much more.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, I was able to be like really good about it the first time, but then, you know, we would still talk after youth group a lot. And then it was still like, I swear she likes me. You know, and so, but the cycle would continue. She'd ask us to meet up at Starbucks or wherever, and then she'd like end things. And then, you know, this has happened like a good 3 or 4 times at this point. Just classic situationships.
Hate those, don't recommend.
Yeah, except ours worked out, but like also don't copy us all the time.
Yeah. Let our feeling be your flow.
This is God's grace here. This is not normative. But yeah, so 3 or 4 times as it happened, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm like numb at this point. She had asked me to meet up after one of our breakups, which she did pretty often, just because she wanted to explain herself. You know, she because she didn't want me mad at her. You know. I
have trouble with people who are mad at me.
Gosh, what a unique issue. Everyone loves when people are mad at them, so like you're a freak for that. Oh no. Oh. She got me. She touched my Harry Potter scar. Anyways, she asked to meet up. I didn't want to go. I've been trying to tell the story for like 5 minutes. She asked to meet up. I didn't want to go. I was annoyed. But then this was when I was first practicing how to listen to God and understanding how that worked. So I was talking to God about it, and I was like, I really don't want to go. And then I just felt him like lift up my head a little bit, and you know, I just felt like, okay, maybe that's him encouraging me to go. So I went, got there, we sat down. She pulls out like this double-sided letter, like 18 pages, front and back.
It wasn't 18 pages.
But like it was one of those Ross and Rachel vibes. And she was just like explaining herself and basically saying that she loved me, she didn't want to do this, but like whatever, God. Like without actually saying those words. She was talking, and I was
praying, right?
Yeah.
Because I prayed before.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was another very annoying thing. She like wanted to pray before we started. I'm just like, what? Why do we have to pray before you tell me why you don't like me? This is so annoying. God, anoint all my words to hurt him as little as possible.
Oh, okay.
But as she was reading, I just felt God like come and sit at our table, and like I remember so clearly, we were facing each other, and then Jesus came, he pulled up a chair, and then he sat backwards on it, and then he was just like kind of leaning on it, and he was happy. That's something I remember very clearly. He was so like almost smug about it. And you know, most of the time when I'm like hearing God, like it's not actually out loud, but like it's like
small voice in your head.
Yeah, exactly. It's a voice. So like whenever I'm like seeing something, that's something to take note of. And so as she was reading, I kind of just looked over at Jesus, and then I saw Jesus go. And again, I know this might be super weird for some of you, but like I just felt Jesus go, arms still crossed, but he was like, she's it. And I'm like, okay. I knew there was probably a part of me, as annoyed as I was, that wanted to hear that. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll take that with a grain of salt or whatever. And then after she was done her 18 pages front and back, I was basically like, okay, now that you're done freaking yapping my head off, my only question is, you know, did you ever genuinely think that I was someone that you could marry? And she was like, yeah, I did, and I have the journal entries to prove it. Specifically, I said, he's it. Because Jesus told me she's it, but then she said, he's it. And whenever I tell people that story, no one freaks out the way I did. But when she said that, like I just started laughing or like smiling. She didn't have to tell me the exact phraseology, and like that's not like something that everyone just says all the time. And so like to me, that was like such a awesome God moment confirmation that I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't just forget about this, you know? Yeah. And I think what made me so happy in that moment was just like I really feel like God is involved in my life. Yeah. And I think that was such a sweet moment for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was it like on your side?
On my side, I found it so absurd that he was laughing. I'm like, huh? But you know what? Before we met up, I was just praying to God on the way. And I was asking the Lord because like I was obsessed with clarity and obsessed with like hearing from God in this time of my life. I mean, you should always be, but like
making sure you hear him 100%.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I was asking God, I'm like, Lord, if Daniel's the one for me, I want you to tell me and like just show me somehow. And then I'm like, wait a second. You know what? I don't want you to do that because I don't think I can handle it. If you told me now that like, yes, Dan was for me, but like now's the season, not for it, I don't think I can handle that. So I'm like, you know what? Speak to Dan instead. Tell him something, which is insane because he did.
Yeah.
And that's why when he was laughing, while I did think it was absurd, I'm like, that's crazy, Lord. You actually did.
Insane.
Like I knew that he had spoken to you, and I
You did? Yeah.
Yeah, but I was gonna ask you like, what's up? But then you're just like, no.
I was just like smiling and like, well, because I didn't want to do that thing where like, you know, like, oh, well, God told me or we're gonna be together or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, that's not what the perfect Christian boyfriend would do. It is generally not a good idea, but it doesn't make you.
The Lord told me that you are my spouse.
Right, yeah. You don't want to be manipulative about it. But here's where the story doesn't actually get better. You would think that that's where things start to like turn around.
Uphill.
But we still maybe had like a breakup or two after that, which was really confusing to me because I'm like, God, I swear you confirmed it. And like, it just really doesn't look like it. It really looks like I heard wrong. And you know, maybe that's why when I tell people that story, no one seems to understand the impact that I do. But you know, after that, we even actually finally did start dating officially.
Yeah.
That lasted 3 days. Tell them about that.
Yeah, we started dating. That did last 3 days. I was just so overcome with anxiety. I am like, this cannot be it. Like, I cannot be in a relationship where I'm feeling this much anxiety. I must be wrong. I am like, I can't do this. Like 3 days in. And so we broke up. We kept like talking and seeing each other at church. And then like a couple months later, I felt like I heard from the Lord. Then we started like dating again. This time it lasted like almost 3 months. But then like Christmas happened, and then again, I'm still like, I'm getting this anxiety again. And a couple days before New Year's, I'm like, I can't do this.
Went to that same Starbucks.
And I broke up with him again. That was
bad. This was really bad.
I had to drive you home after breaking up with you, so that was not fun. No. And I was also sick, and yeah, it was not good.
Breaking up with me should make you sick.
I think that was like, I was feeling like the worst of the worst shame during that season. Like, I felt so sick to my stomach that I had hurt someone that I supposedly loved, because I did love you and I did really care for you. I didn't know how. I didn't understand why I was feeling so much anxiety. So like, I genuinely, like, my heart was broken for the fact that I hurt you.
Yeah.
And it was a really hard season. And so December finished, January rolled around, just deep loneliness and shame, like, for me. And then lockdown happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, like, on my side, like, her doing that, like, I thought that it was God playing games with me. Like, I thought it was because I had sinned, and then he basically told her to not be with me because I had sinned, you know? Yeah, it really felt like God was just toying with me. It was a big stumbling block in my relationship with God. Yeah.
And I think that speaks to just how detrimental over-spiritualizing things is. Because I definitely did that, and it led to, like, me hurting Daniel's relationship with God. I mean, my relationship with God was hurting because I had a faulty understanding of, like, who God was and who I was. So and that impacted it. It was spiritual abuse in a sense, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Right, yeah. Whatever decision you make, whether you think you're supposed to date someone, whether you're not supposed to date someone, own your decision. Don't try to put it on God like he's making you do something. At the end of the day, it's on you. And yeah, don't mess with someone's relationship with God like that, you know?
As much as that you're aware of it.
Yeah. So yeah, anyways, then lockdown happened. It was like a couple months into it. It was finally like summer again. And then again, she wanted to meet up to like explain herself again. But difference is this time she had actually gone to therapy.
I started to understand why I was getting triggered. I understood why I was feeling so anxious in our relationship. I'm like, oh, it's not a him problem. It's a me problem. And I wanted to offer that. I wanted to share that with him. So we were hanging out, and then like he invited me to this new church that he had been going to.
Yes.
And then we never made it official. There was never a conversation.
Yeah.
We just kind of slowly, oh, I guess this is happening. Like there was no intentionality.
The only ship that can't sink, a situationship.
And it happened again. And I'm just like, what happened? I didn't say yes to this. What's going on? And it's like, it's like a magnet. I didn't sign up for this, but like it just happened. And so I started feeling anxious again. Woohoo! A big surprise there.
Yeah.
And break up there again. Cause I'm like, no, we didn't, like we're not being intentional about this. And I'm feeling anxious about not being intentional, and I'm not ready. And this feels like PTSD.
So then this is where I made probably the biggest mistake of our relationship. I kind of started seeing someone else. And I don't say mistake as like it was like wrong, it was a sin, you know? It was a mistake in terms of like, you know, I was just really doubting what God had told me. I was like, okay, maybe I made that all up in my head because that's what I wanted to think. And then at this new church, I had like made friends, and then turns out like one of these friends like really liked me. And like initially I wasn't feeling it. I was just kind of uncomfortable with the whole situation because I knew I was not over her. But then, yeah, because of my own bad like patterns, like we situationshiped. And then it's funny, I remember there was one specific time I was going to meet up with her, and then I just felt like in like big jumbotron like red letters God was just saying like don't go, or like something like that. He was like don't go. And like again, I couldn't tell if that was my own anxiety and fear about like doing the wrong thing, or if like that was actually God speaking to me. But yeah, I like got closer to this person, but it never quite felt right. I never quite felt like, I don't know if like permission's the right word, but there was just something about it that didn't feel like I could feel safe doing that.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, like you were attracted to this person, but you didn't feel settled.
Yeah, and I was trying to, and like, I think in a lot of ways, which was not fair to this other person, but like, I was trying to like turn her into you, terms of like just the things that I liked about you. There was lots to like about this other person too, but like, yeah, I tried to control this person to be who you are, and it was just a big mistake. Not that I was trying to disobey God, but like, listen to God, you know, like as hard as it could be to understand, just like really do your best to just go with what he's saying to you, even if it makes no sense, because it could have huge consequences and you could hurt people really badly.
Yeah. So after like that happened, I don't know how the time frame, I'm not too sure of, but I did return to that church. Had no idea that this all had happened, and you know, the nature of being in the vicinity of Dan, we're like two magnets. So of course we started talking again, and then we ended up going skating around Christmas time, and I think I had a gift for you, or I wrote you a letter or whatever.
Yes.
I had a gift and I wrote a letter.
It was a polo crew neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me just say, at this time I thought we were just buddies. I thought we were just friends. I didn't think that she liked me because like she when she was around me, she didn't act cute. You know, she acted very like business, you know, like business friend, like still like to talk, you know. It wasn't like that, but you know, I just didn't think that she liked me.
I felt baffled because like you were acting normal around me, and in my brain I'm like, oh, okay, so it's fine. Like he still likes me. All good. So I wrote him a letter, basically another letter.
Yeah.
But this time like the letter was about like, I had told him that I loved him, and it caught him off guard.
It was the scariest moment of my life because I was talking, like I was like seeing this other girl, and like, but like I'd also been like talking to her, but like with like different intentions. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, I am the player that everyone always thought I was. I didn't mean to be at all. But I'm like, now this person loves me, and I'm like, oh gosh, what did I do? I was immediately like, I had to like stop seeing this other girl. I can't have situationships. It's bad, you know?
Yeah. Where he went wrong is hanging out one-on-one with a girl.
Yeah. Guys, here's a good rule of thumb. If your relationship, and no, girls need to hear this as well. If your relationship with this member of the opposite sex has to change, if you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it's unhealthy. Cut it out. Stop getting attention from them, because it is filling a place where a significant other would go.
Yeah.
But you're trying to get that without the commitment. That's wrong. That's actually like being pretty crappy to that person.
Yeah.
And like,
we've both done that.
And even if it's like mutual with you and this other person, like you be responsible for you. Don't do that to someone else, because it's never going to end well.
Yeah.
It's always going to end with bad feelings.
Yeah, eventually it led to like discomfort because like, you know, we're in the community with that other person that he was seeing, and still like friends with.
Very small church, yeah.
Still seeing him very like talking to at the time. It's funny how like God works. Like, me and this person ended up becoming friends, like really good friends, like even like going on a trip together and all of that.
It was so weird for me. Like both of them were texting me. I remember on this trip, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And like, so when I came back, Dan and I, like, you know, we started talking, and then we started officially dating.
Yes.
For like this final official time.
Yes.
And it really hurt that other person because they didn't see it coming. And then when I found out about everything had gone on, I just had a lot of trouble with that. And it did impact our relationship in a sense. But like, thankfully, we had all of the emotional tools to work through it. And
right.
Like,
great therapists. Shout out Tyler and Courtney.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here without you guys.
And most importantly, the Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess at this point, like we were just friends though, because I don't think that you, again, weren't like ready to.
Yeah. There was like a year. There was like a year or two when I was just trying to figure my feelings out, my life out. But then eventually I was looking for a part-time job, and then
I was the assistant manager at a pharmacy, and I'm like, well, I knew he was looking for a job, so I'm like, hey, do you want to come work?
Hey, friend.
Hey, friend, do you want to come work where I am? We're looking to hire somebody. And he said yes. And obviously, being in the vicinity of Daniel, we're like two magnets. We just started talking because we started like working in the same place. And then I remember at like a lunch break one time, like he was just really close to me and being really nice. I'm like, ew, I guess
You're like, ew?
No, no, not ew. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
I guess he does like me, and we're gonna maybe give this a shot, because at this point I think I finally felt healthy enough to
you were in a
entertain
really
it.
healthy place.
I was really putting God in his God spot.
Yes, and like honestly, I was a lot more unsure than she was, because obviously I'm not stupid. I knew that most likely this was not going to end well, because they had never ended well.
You mean the other 6 times
The other
didn't
6
show
times. Yeah, exactly.
you? Or 7 times, whatever.
That's why I'm like, look, conventional wisdom is great. It's great to listen to the people around you. They can see the blind spots you can't. But like when God tells you something, that should override anything. And like, even if you look stupid, like, I'm not talking about if like something's blatantly against the Bible and you feel like God told you something else. Like, no, like listen to that. But like in these kind of subjective situations where you feel like God told you something, you have to go with that, because all of my friends were sick of hearing about Cynthia. And like, the funny thing is, they all liked Cynthia. They all thought she was a great person. Honestly, it like kind of bothered me after we broke up a couple times that they didn't hate her stupid guts. But like, yeah, like they were all sick of hearing about it. They were sick of me doing this. But it's funny because when God tells you something, even like the more obstacles that come up, it's almost like the more sure you get, the more determined you are to see what God said come through.
Tenacity.
Yeah, and like that's what I felt. And so then when we eventually got together, obviously it took me longer to trust her.
Yeah. I remember like when, like on our first date, like officially like our last time around.
Yes.
I do remember like on the car ride back, you said like, you really want to pursue me, but like you're just, you don't know if you can trust me yet.
Yeah.
And I really valued that he was being open and honest with me, and that he wanted to pursue me. And again, then like, oh, you want to pursue me?
You like me?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then eventually he saw that I was like, I meant what I said.
Well, it's funny. So another thing, honestly, this is such a long podcast already, and there's so much more we could say, but
this is the Cliff's Notes version.
Yeah, but yeah. So one of the reasons why I felt okay with doing this again is because, you know, after so many breakups, my mom had seen so much. She had like heard me crying, like in my room quite a bit. But, you know, I was praying, God, if you really said what you said, you have to change my mom's mind first, because I feel like she'd be harder to convince than me, and I can't really trust myself. But then literally one day, my mom, unprompted, comes into my room. She was like, you know what? I really love Cynthia.
Did you make that face?
I don't know what face. It was probably like totally like, or like, really? And she was like, yeah, you know, like after you two broke up, she had messaged me and she made it clear that, like, you know, like she really appreciated me and everything, and didn't mean any ill will towards me or you. And so, yeah, no, I just, like, I really love her. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And then she left the room, and I'm like, again, it was just one of those, like, God is so involved in this. And it was so beautiful. So then that was another confirmation. I'm like, okay, I should still hold out hope for this. And then eventually it happened. We are engaged factually to be married. And, you know, if you want to check out the story of how this happened, because I made it really cool. So
it was so fun. You guys have to look at all the effort and time that he put into that.
Yes, so if you guys want to see the culmination of this train wreck of a love story, but God makes all things beautiful
in its time,
which is our testimony, it's our wedding verse. If you want to see how that happened, check out this video. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. All right? Bye-bye.
Bye.